Hi everyone, it's Cathy Zielske. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I've got a few cards to share with you featuring a wonderful new stamp set from Gina Designs and designer Emily Loggins. I love this encouragement set. It is full of sentiments to uplift, and I had so much fun making this card that you see. I had to share a few other projects that I made as well. I think this technique is also so easy to do if you are a novice painter, and that is me. So let's jump in and take a look at the products that I'm using today. This stamp set is called Be the Rainbow, and it's brand new from Gina Designs and designed by Emily Loggins, who has wonderful handwritten sentiments. That is her handwriting, and it's absolutely fantastic. And everything in the set is all about encouragement. I'm going to use Gina's fine detail white powder and her embossing ink on this project. I've got a collection here of distress inks, and I'm going to be using a water brush as well. And I'll have everything I'm using listed below the video. I love water brushes. They make it so easy. For my cardstock, I've got some of Tim Holtz's watercolor cardstock. I'm going to use the smooth side because I kind of like using the smooth side because I think it takes ink really nice when you're stamping. And of course, I'll have a few other products as we go. So let's get into it. First, I'm going to pick up the little rainbow on my Misty door, and I've just positioned it on the cardstock where I think it should be. I'm going to use my embossing magic pad to remove static and oil so that when I stamp down that beautiful sticky ink, my powder is only going to stick where the ink goes. Now, I like to use my Swiffer cloth here, not just for cleanup, but so that I can easily just run my fingers over the stamp and press it down with the Misty. And I'm going to hit this twice. The beauty of the Misty, it lets you do that perfectly and with perfect alignment. But also, I just wanted to make sure there was a lot of ink on that rainbow. I'm going to sprinkle on my powder, and this is something I just learned from my guru, Jennifer McGuire. She doesn't tilt at first. She goes flat when she puts her powder on and then tilts. I never did that. I'm going to do it because it actually makes your powder stick even better. I'm going to flick off the excess. Now here's a little pro tip. If you see the little extra areas where the embossing magic maybe didn't do its job, take your craft pick and carefully just scrape it off and blow. It's just a way to get the cleanest image possible, and I've been doing this a lot lately. Craft pick is amazing. My heat tool is nice and hot, and I will bring it to the paper and quickly melt the powder until it is smooth and shiny. Just like that. Today, I'm using a brand new product in my studio, and this is the Tonic Studios Travel Size Media Mat from Tim Holtz. I love the size. Here's the thing. I have a dining room. That's my studio. I might say studio and make it sound like I'm really cool. I'm not that cool. I craft in my dining room. True, we do not eat in that room except for Thanksgiving or any other major family holiday. But the thing I like about the size of this mat is that it doesn't take up a ton of space. And for me, crafting where I do, that is a good thing. So all I'm doing here is smushing those colors, those distressed colors, and picking them up with my water pen and adding them over the rainbow. And here's the great thing. This is pretty foolproof because you don't have to be a good painter to just layer on some color over a stamped image. And of course, this is the beauty of the Emboss Resist. Now, I brought in a little Q-tip just to pick up some of the extra color that was pooling, but you don't even have to do that because it is going to resist from the stamped image. And I didn't dry in between. Well, I don't think I would have wanted to because I didn't want to reactivate the embossing powder. But you don't really need to. It's going to blend together beautifully. You're working in rainbow order. And then you can go back in and just kind of punch up any area that needs a little extra attention. And then I'll just get any extra pooled ink off, and I'm going to set that aside to dry, but that looks pretty dang cute. And to clean off the mat, and of course I have the little sticky, I don't even know what this is called, but it comes with the travel mat. Just wipe it off, and you are good to go. So while that piece is drying, I'm going to stamp the cloud, and I love that this cloud is so thick and chunky. I think it has just a really whimsical look. And then I'm going to layer in Always Here for You because I think that is just a fantastic sentiment. Inking that up also with the black ink and stamping that down. Again, just using my MISTI for nice even pressure. Now that I've got that stamped, I'm going to cut this out. And I'm just going to cut the big, long bottom length of the cloud with my big tonic scissors. I just thought it would be nicer for just one smooth cut. And then I'll bring in my smaller scissors and work my way around. The thick line made it so easy to cut, and I did not want to have a white halo edge. You know how you get that with a typical die. I thought this would be cool just going right to the edge of the image. I go really slow when I'm doing this, but fussy cutting is something that I feel like anyone can do. It just takes time, and if you mess it up, you know what? You can start over. I messed up a little bit, but then I went in and just kind of cut out the extra little areas that I missed. And then here's another great pro tip that I learned from my friend Neenah. Take a Copic marker in the darkest color you can find to match whatever you stamped your image in, and just go around the edges, and it gives that look of a perfectly cut edge. Now, as I was doing this and super excited, I made the last one and accidentally went right onto the cloud. And I thought, oh, Cath. But here's the beautiful thing. The Copic Colorless Blender. It works like an eraser. I guess that's the best way you can frame it. And you just push that color back, just keep pushing it in, and it lifts it up. Now check this out. I have a little tiny bullet tip. I have been replacing my chisel tips on my Copics. And it works great for little tiny areas like this. I hit this probably a couple times and it removed that little oops. I'm using one of my favorite dies to cut out a card panel. This is from Waffle Flower Crafts, and this gives me a perfectly cut panel for my card project. Just like that, looks great. Next, I will create the card base, and this is going to be top folding, 5.5 by 4.25, which is the US A2 size, and I'm using the Neenah Solar White 110-pound cardstock. Beautiful, heavyweight. Going to give that a nice crease with my Teflon bone folder, and then I like to tape my card bases closed because if they're popping open while I'm working on them, Mama can't have that, so we don't roll that way. Foam tape on the back of the rainbow panel, and I'll just pop that down and look at that nice edge of framing white margin space. I love the white on white. I'm popping up the cloud sentiment and putting that right at the base of my messy rainbow. Isn't that cute? I thought it would be fun to finish it with just 3 cascading sequins, almost as if they were shiny raindrops coming out of the cloud, because you know what? It gives hope to the rain. At least that's the story I'm going with. But that's the finished card project. I really like how this turned out. It's so simple, but it's very handmade in its feel. Do you know what I mean? I tried another rainbow with some ink blending. Now this used Gina K cubes and some blender brushes, but that also has a whole different look. It's very soft, and I used a sentiment from a set of sentiment strips that I designed. But I couldn't stop there. I took one of Emily's wonderful little handwritten sentiments, and I did the same emboss resist with the same distress inks, and then I cut out that little opening using one of Gina K's oval dies. Finally, the last piece, I made a tag. So you could also use a set like this, not just for encouragement, but look at that cute little tag. That's another set that I designed, and the reinforcements have little shapes. But again, super all-purpose. I think this stamp set could be used for so many different occasions, and those are my finished cards for the day. So I hope this inspires you to try a little painting with inks and emboss resist. Thanks so much for watching today. I would love to have you become a subscriber to my YouTube channel, and if you do subscribe, be sure to hit the gray bell below the video so that you don't miss the next time I post. Here are a couple other videos that you might be interested in watching. Thanks so much and have a great day.